So to make it simpler to understand, what I do is I'll draw an object here first. I'll draw another object on this particular thing. I'll draw a circle here. What I'll do is now I'll change the color of the circle. Okay, I'll keep it as some other color, and we'll apply the transparency effect to this. What I'll do is I'll go to transparency and apply effects. See, now if I put uniform, we'll change the color of background first. I'll change it to black, and this will change it to white. Okay, now these are two objects. Okay, don't confuse yourself. These are the two objects. This is the first object, this is the second object. The first object is black color, and the second object is white color. So I'll keep the second object exactly in the center of this box, the black box. Okay, and both the objects I have filled it with color. This is white color and this is black color, and I'll give transparency effect to this particular white circle, so that you can understand what exactly the transparency effect does. So in transparency, I'll go to this uniform. See, it has given a transparency effect to this circle, means just slightly remove it outside and give some other color. See, you can see the transparency effect. See, I'll given some other color to this, and slightly I've moved this circle outside the box. So you see this is actually a red color, a red circle actually, and I have given a transparency effect that is uniform. Uniform means it gives effect to the entire object. Okay, now see, this particular position is overlapping the black colors. That's why the red shade is a bit darker, and this particular position is outside the box, which doesn't have any color behind on the back side, so it is given a transparency effect. Okay, so if we remove the clear transparency, you'll see the original color. This is the original color. So if I give a transparency effect, it is showing a red color here. If I change the color, you see this is green, and this is a transparency effect. I can increase or decrease the transparency effect from here. This is 50 actually, the exact center. If I increase to 100, it applies 100% transparency. That means you won't be able, the object is invisible. Object is present here, but it is invisible. So if I decrease the transparency effect to 0, it removes it keeps the transparency effect to 0. So in that way you can see the entire object very clearly. So if I keep it 50, it gives a few percentage transparency effect to an object. Okay, this is uniform. And next is linear. Linear means it gives a transparency effect from one end to another end. See, this is the transparency effect. It has started from here and is ended somewhere in between here. Okay, that position we can change from this small box here. This is to increase or decrease the transparency effect. This is linear. Radial means there is a transparency effect. See, this is a circle. There is a transparency effect in between the circle. This is a conical, means it creates some 3D kind of shape. Okay, there is a transparency. This is the transparency portion. The black color, what you see, this is the transparency portion. See, if I bring it outside the box, you can see the transparency. See, this is the transparency portion. So black, I have put a black patch here just to make you understand. See what exactly transparency does. So this is conical, this is square. Square means it gives a square type of transparency effect on this object. And this is two color pattern. This is two color pattern. Here you see these are the patterns. Select any of the pattern, it gives that kind of effect to the particular thing. Keep it 50 transparency effect. This is full color pattern, that you can change it from here. And this is bitmap. See, you have bitmap options here. And this is texture samples here. If you click on none, it removes all the transparency effect. So I'll select uniform and we'll see the other options. So this is to increase or decrease the transparency effect. 50 is normally the middle part of transparency effect. And these are the other options here. See, as soon as I click on add, basically the transparency effect, it adds some more transparency effect to that. Subtracts the transparency effect, it reduces the transparency effect. Same way there are difference in multiply, divide. You can try all this As soon as you keep on working on Corel, understand the use of this particular tools. Keep it as normal. And next is this is transparency effect, fill, outline, all. So what this thing does is, suppose if I remove this patch first, keep this, and I'll draw an circle here for, okay, I'll draw a circle here, fill it with some color, and I'll give it outline to this, increase the outline size. I can do that from here. As soon as I draw a circle, you'll get these tool options here, and I can increase the outline size. I'll bring it to 3. Okay, now I'll go to the transparency effect. Now first what I need to do is I'll give a transparency effect, that is this I'll select as uniform. Now we were saying these particular tools, okay, these 3 tools. This is all means it has given transparency effect to the outline as well as to the filling of this object. Now if I select only fill, it removes the transparency effect from the outline. Okay, it has given transparency effect only to the filling part. See, if I increase the transparency effect, the effect disappears. If I decrease, it appears. If keep it 50, it gives somewhat 50% transparency effect. This is just to fill. It has given transparency effect to fill, and it has removed the transparency effect from the outline circle. Outline. Okay, if I click on outline, what it does is it gives transparency effect to only to outline and removes the transparency effect from fill. Okay, now difficult to understand because the outline size is little small, so I'll increase the outline. You see the outline, there is a transparency effect on this outline. That's the reason you are able to see this outline, what it creates on an object. It's the half of the outline is outside the object and half of it is inside the object. This is the outline. Okay, so the transparency effect is only on outline. If I click on all, it gives the transparency effect to fill as well as to outline. This is transparency effect options. The same here, this is to apply transparency effects. Okay, suppose if I draw an object, I draw an object here, and I want all the effects to be on this particular object. What I do is I'll select this object, go to transparency here, click on this copy transparency properties. There is a arrow which appears, and I need to move my arrow to an object where the transparency effect is already present. I'll move this arrow to the particular object and click here. See, it has applied only the transparency effects to this object. Okay, and suppose if you want all the effects, like that means the outline size or the filling of this particular object to be to this second object, there is another option here. It's called copy properties from. See, as you click on copy properties from, another window appears. So whatever properties you want to copy, that's outline pen, outline color, fill, you can select this thing and click OK. Click this, click on that object, all the effects are applied to this object. Okay, that you can do. I'll teach you this particular thing in the next chapter again. Okay, this is how you can copy effect, the transparency effect. Okay, now suppose I'll delete this object. Now suppose if I want to remove all the transparency effect from this object, what I'll do is I'll click on clear transparency. It removes all the transparency effects. So this is what the transparency does.